Guys, welcome back. As you can see, I've got a brew underway, so what I'll do is we'll spin the camera around and I'll explain what I'm brewing up. Okay, so we're about 30 minutes through a 60-minute mash, and this is the beer that I'm brewing up. It's called Weezle Fog. It's going to be a hazy American IPA. Before I show you the ingredients, I'll just explain a little bit about why I'm brewing up this beer. So recently on Facebook I saw there was a competition running or being run by Weezle Brewing, also along with the sponsors Gladfield and Grainfather, to basically brew up one of three Weezle Brewing beers. So I've chosen the Weezle Fog here. So you brew it up, submit 2 bottles to be judged, and that'll be judged by Mark Jackman and the team at Weezle, and you'll get some feedback, so that's fantastic in itself. But if you're the overall winner, you get to do a brew day of a commercial beer at Weezle Brewing. So I thought that sounded like a fantastic opportunity, nothing to lose. So yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed. So as far as the ingredients, I'll just give a quick shout out to Tiffany and Jason from Hauraki Homebrew, who are one of the partner homebrew shops who supplied the recipe, or sorry, supplied the ingredients. So the ingredients are, we've got American ale malt, Pilsner malt, flake wheat and sour grapes, which is a acidulated malt. I should explain I'm doing a half batch. And also got some water additions, which I've already put into the mash. So as far as the hops go, we've got a small 60-minute bittering addition of Southern Cross. Then we've got a larger Whirlpool addition of Motueka and Southern Cross. And then we've got a really large addition, a dry hop addition of Nectaron, Motueka and Southern Cross. So that's the bulk of the hops there. So yeah, just keep in mind this is a half batch. So I think overall, if you're doing a full batch size, you'd be looking at around, I think it was 550 grams, something like that. So yeah, plenty of hops. So looking forward to brewing this up and seeing how it turns out. So yeah, big shout out to everyone involved in the competition. Also, big shout out if you're watching David Moyner. David sort of organised, I think, helped put everything together, get everyone involved, and you know, Gladfield's Weezle and sort of like administering it. So yeah, big shout out, David. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. So we'll carry on, and then I'll come back in the next stage. Okay, so we've finished the mash, and sorry I forgot to film the sparge, but we are just up to the boil, so I'm going to throw in the Southern Cross bittering addition, and then we'll probably come back once we do at the end of the boil for the Whirlpool. Okay, so the boil has finished, so we will turn off the power. And what we're going to do now is we are going to Whirlpool with a combination of Motueka and Southern Cross for 20 minutes. So I believe this is going to give us in the low 30s extra IBUs. So we'll pop that in, and I am going to Whirlpool vigorously with my trusty spoon here. So I'll do that, and then I will come back. Okay, so I am back, but I've skipped the extremely interesting part of transferring the wort into the fermenter and pitching the yeast, and we are now 15 hours later. Got the Inkbird temperature controller set to 18.5, and we'll see how the fermentation is going. So it's in the old Brewtech here, this is Brewtech. And I've got the heat pad hooked up, but as you can hear and see, it's starting to bubble away nicely. So happy days. I was good sign when you're getting some activity there on the blow off. Okay, well, we'll shut the fridge up and I'll show you the hydro sample. Okay, so here is the hydro sample. Came out at 1.054. A few points down on what I was aiming for with the recipe, but still pretty happy with that. As the name suggests, Weezle Fog, it's going to be a hazy type of beer, which it certainly is. So I didn't use any like Werflock, I didn't mention it in the recipe, so I guess that's all going to help with maintain that haze. And I've still got 200 grams of dry hops to come in a half batch, as I mentioned, so that's going to increase the haziness even more. So yeah, let's have a little taste. As you guys know, at this stage it's just tasting like sweet wort, but the main thing, as I've mentioned before, is to get an idea of the bitterness. So the recipe was targeting the sort of mid-30 IBU range, and I think it's pretty close to that. It's definitely not sort of well over that, which is great. I don't want to end up with a super bitter beer, so happy with that. Now, I purposely haven't mentioned what yeast I've used, just in case other people who have entered the competition are watching. Just wanted to change up the yeast, use something I hadn't used before. It is a dry yeast, but it's a dry yeast that is meant to be good for this style of beer, for a hazy or New England IPA style beer. But I'll reveal that in the tasting video in a few weeks' time, and also how I got on in the competition. Also, I'll check if I can share the original recipe with you. So I'll, if I can, I'll put it in the video description below, and I'll probably add something to the screen to say, yeah, I was allowed to share it, and it's look below. So yeah, check that out if I can make it available. Apart from that, thanks for watching, and we will catch you in a few weeks' time. Fingers crossed all goes well. Over and out. Cheers.